And here we are. That's right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It is Friday. We made it to the end of the work week. Again, so much left to do. So you don't rest. You're just glad you're done with the end of the work week. You've completed the work week. Now it's time to hit that side hustle. And folks, we're getting ready to get into the holiday season. So, well, it's already underway technically because Thanksgiving's so late this year. But remember, side hustle. Get it going on. So welcome. This is Let's Have a Chat about leadership for Friday, November 22nd, 2019. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. If you're watching this live, I appreciate it. If you're watching this on replay, I appreciate that too, because again, you're taking that time, your valuable, precious time, and I hope I give you a little something back. So on Fridays, it's Forbes Friday, and we're ripping it straight out of the headlines from the Forbes.com, Forbes website, Forbes emails, Forbes audio, everything dealing with Forbes. And why? Because I like Forbes. It's, again, I just like it. It's awesome. All right, so it's a spin. Right off the bat today on the website, they talked about the top 20 givers or the most giving millionaires or billionaires or whatever, and that's cool. Everybody gives. It's this season. But they got me thinking. It's like, well, wait a minute. Here we go. We're getting ready to officially get into the Christmas holiday, the spirit of giving, the time of giving. We're Thanksgiving weekend. Here we go. Thanksgiving week. We're actually in it now. So with that being said, we got to be aware. We got to be aware of a couple of things. Your money, it is your money. So if you're going to be giving, well, understand that this is the time of year, especially if you're going to give enough that tax season, which begins right after the start of the new year, and it goes all the way up till April. On tax day, April 15th, guess what? It's tax season, so you've got to get yourself prepared. So now might be the time to go ahead and reevaluate how much you've given and how much you have left to give, and adjust accordingly, especially if you take that deduction. Now, if you're not giving or you haven't given at all throughout the year, which ideally you should, and it's called tithing. So if you tithe, and then I need to add that on there, then you've got a plan for the entire year. But if you're not doing that, well, guess what? Time to get going. Time to get started, because you never know. And so, we're getting close to the end of the calendar year, 2019. And, all bets are off. Will be off. Sure, there's some things you can do after the start of the new year. They can be retroactive, going back to 2019. But don't want to get yourself short. Don't want to get yourself in a bind. Don't want to misunderstand. So it's just better to go ahead and do it now in 2019. So with that being said, let's talk about some of the realities. Of course, they're going to be asking for donations. It's already happening down here in my neck of the woods. And I'm more sure it's happening all over the country. And they're asking for donations, monetary donations, food, clothing, because again, winter's come a little early. So now it's giving us a foretaste of winter, and it's going to be rough. And so food, money, clothing donations, without a doubt. Think about it, but be careful who you're giving to, especially on the money side of things. Because again, there's scammers all over the place. There's people on the phones. There's people in person. People come knocking on your door. Those guys with the little IDs around their neck and a little clipboard. I don't know where my clipboard is. Anyway, but some of them are legit, and some of them are just scammers. They're working for scammers. And that being said, what do? How do you just say no? You can say no. It's okay to say no. And you can say yes where you want to donate. But if people come to your door, I'd be unless you actively, personally know them or you've dealt with them in the past, then by all means, that's up to you. But be wise, be aware that this is the season that the scammers come out, and they're going to play on your emotions. Because it's that time of year. And that being said, well, you know what? You've got to, be on guard. And you've got to be on guard 365, 24/7. That's just the way life is. But now even more so, be more diligent. Be more diligent as to what's going on and what you're doing and why you're doing it and why you're having to say no. And it's okay to say no. And if they don't like the no and they keep insisting, just call the police. You're paying taxes anyway, so call the police. Let them know, hey, look, this guy's coming around. And by now, in some subdivisions, people know who the scammers are and who aren't. And by now, if you're at the back of the subdivision, I guarantee you somebody's already called the cops. And if not, if they started in the back, well, guess what? Be a good neighbor, call the cops. I've done it in the past. I'll continue to do it because, again, people are just scamming. The big ones, the ones are the window chip people. Yeah, a lot, 9 times out of 10, they are scamming you. So that being said, be diligent, be careful, be aware of your surroundings, head on a swivel, look around, take care of your neighbors, take care of each other, because it is that important. Because if you're not getting scammed because you're aware, you're diligent, then look down the street, somebody a little, unsure of themselves, first time homeowners, what's the thing you're supposed to do in the subdivision. And the same thing with the older crowd, they've given, and oh, he reminds me of my grandson, whatever. Be diligent, be on the lookout, look out for your neighbor, look out for each other, look out for yourself, look out for your pocketbook, looking out for their pocketbook as well. Because the last thing you want is like, I got scammed over the holidays. You have some money I can borrow? And no, nobody wants to lend out money. And I mean, it's the truth. It's the truth. Nobody wants to lend out money, especially when it could have been prevented. And if that's the case, then, look out for the neighbor. So it saves you that heartache on the back end. Something else. And it's going to be touchy, but you know what? It's got to be said, because it does happen there too. Church, your religious organization, where if you church, synagogue, wherever you go, there's people there that scam them too. The big one is that church directory photography thing. Biggest scam ever. Yeah, sure, you're doing it for the church directory, but last time I checked, it doesn't cost much to say, hey, can you take my picture and send it to them? But they got to have that background. No, it's a huge scam. It is, and I understand they're trying to make a business. They're trying to do a business, but again, the markup is so high that it's unbelievable. It's like they're just trying to retire on that first package that they sell. So be careful. But then again, it's not just those businesses. It's not just those entities, but sometimes there are just individuals. I remember one church I went to, the very first day I'd gone to that church as an adult, and there was somebody there thanking everybody for, all that they did and support and help their kid and yada, 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 whatever, the whole song and dance sob story. And I'm just looking at this guy, and it was just something didn't feel right. Well, sure enough, never heard from him again. He never showed back up, took the money and ran. And that was basically it. So it's just kind of like, well, that was a big turnoff. But again, it happens. It happens. It happens. It might not happen in your church. You've heard it happen. Oh, it happened at the church on the other side of town, or down two cities over, 2 towns over. But it does happen. And there are people out there scamming people, and they have no care in the world doing it. They have no care in the world doing it. Oh, let me help you through the holidays. And then they end up scamming you. No, don't fall for it. You're not accepting that help during the regular time of the year. Why over the holidays? Because you feel sorry. They've got their 10 kids. Quit making so many kids. I get that. Some people have that many kids. But again, you put yourself in that situation. Nobody stops to think, it's like you just start feeling sorry for them. And then what do you do? And it happens. It happens. So, take caution, be cautious, be prepared, be ready, because the time is coming. It's your money. You worked hard for it all year long. And for you to lose it on a scam, or somebody pulling a scheme or a scam and just taking your money, taking the church's money, taking you for a ride, taking advantage of you, be careful, folks. Be vigilant, be diligent, head on a swivel, be alert, stay alert, especially during the holidays. And you've heard all the other stories. Watch where you go. Don't linger in your car after you get in. Lock your doors, drive away, go park someplace else, and then take care of whatever you have to take care of. But folks, be aware, be diligent. We're getting into the season. And if you don't do something now, again, be careful. So with that being said, I'm Dave Guerra. Listen, hey, have a great weekend. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I'll be tweeting all weekend long, all Thanksgiving week long. I'll be tweeting. Join me there. Follow me there. Say hi there. Also on Instagram, I'll be throwing up some pictures also and some images and some stuff. I've already got some stuff ready to rock and roll over the weekend. Leaders, this one goes out to you. Also on Facebook, follow me there. If you're watching this on the YouTube, thank you very much. But you know what? You really catch me on that Twitter. So give me a follow. I'd appreciate it. I'll follow you back, guaranteed. Unless you're a bot, I won't follow you back. So, or if you're one of those people that, follows 700 people, but you have yet to tweet or you don't have any tweets, and guess what? I'm not going to follow you because more than likely you're just one of those spam accounts. So get ready. So don't be a spammer. Get out there. Don't be hiding. Get out there and communicate with people. Let me know. I'll chat with you. We'll tweet. We'll tweet at each other. But in the meantime, this is Friday. Let's go have a great weekend, a great Thanksgiving week. I'll be back throughout the week, so don't worry about that. I'll be back next week. And this is Let's Have a Chat About Leadership for Friday, November 22nd, 2019. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you on Monday. Take care.